Have you ever wondered how much your social environment impacts your mental health? We all live in a world that's interconnected and interdependent. As we navigate through life, it's impossible to ignore the social factors that shape our experiences and ultimately our mental health. From our families to our friends, from our workplaces to our neighborhoods, every social interaction has a role to play. Now let's take a moment to understand what we mean by mental health. It's not just about the absence of mental disorders or disabilities. Mental health encompasses our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. But how do social factors come into play? Well, imagine your social environment as a complex web of relationships, structures, and cultural norms. This web can either support and nourish your mental health or exert pressure and create stress. For instance, positive social factors like strong supportive relationships, community participation, and a feeling of belonging can boost our mental health. They can make us feel valued, understood, and secure. On the flip side, negative social factors like discrimination, social exclusion, or bullying can erode our mental health. They can breed feelings of isolation, anxiety, and depression. In essence, the social environment is a double-edged sword. It can either protect our mental health, acting as a buffer against mental disorders, or it can pose risks, increasing the chances of mental health issues. But it's important to remember the connection between social factors and mental health is not a one-way street. Our mental health can also influence how we perceive and interact with our social environment, creating a cycle that can either be virtuous or vicious. In this video, we will delve deeper into how different social factors can influence our mental health. So stay tuned as we unravel the complex interplay between our social world and our mental well-being. Consider the case of John, a 25-year-old man from a low-income neighborhood. John's story begins in a place where opportunities are limited. His neighborhood, often overlooked and under-resourced, is a petri dish for stressors. These stressors, born out of socioeconomic disadvantage, are omnipresent in John's life. The lack of local amenities, job opportunities, and quality education has created an environment that's challenging to navigate. John's family, while loving and supportive, struggles to make ends meet. The constant worry about finances takes a toll on the family dynamics, often leading to tension and conflict. This environment, filled with stress and uncertainty, has been a constant in John's life, a social factor that has undoubtedly influenced his mental health. Education, or rather the lack thereof, has also played a significant role in John's life. The local school system, underfunded and overwhelmed, was unable to provide John with the tools he needed to thrive. This lack of quality education left John feeling unprepared and ill-equipped to overcome the challenges of his environment, further exacerbating feelings of hopelessness and despair. John's story is not unique. It's a narrative shared by many who live in similar circumstances. The social factors that have shaped John's life, his socioeconomic status, his family structure, his education, these are the threads that have woven the fabric of his mental health. They've fostered an environment of chronic stress, leading to feelings of helplessness and a sense of hopelessness. These feelings, left unchecked, can evolve into more serious mental health issues such as depression or anxiety. John's mental health, like many others in his situation, has been shaped by his social environment. The impact of these social factors is profound, shaping not only John's mental health but his perception of himself and his place in the world. John's story is a clear illustration of how social factors can shape our mental health. It's a stark reminder that mental health is more than just genetics and brain chemistry. It's a complex interplay of our environment, our experiences, and our social circumstances. And it's a call to action, a reminder that we must address these social factors if we hope to improve mental health outcomes for individuals like John. There's a wealth of scientific evidence supporting the link between social factors and mental health. Let's dive into a few key studies that shed light on how these factors influence our mental health. One of the most influential studies in this field is the Whitehall study. This research, conducted over a span of 10 years, delved into the lives of civil servants in the United Kingdom. It discovered a strong correlation between job strain, characterized by high demand and low control, and mental health disorders. This study underscores the fact that the environment we work in, a significant social factor, can have profound effects on our mental health. Another groundbreaking study was conducted by the World Health Organization. They found that individuals living in urban areas with low social cohesion, characterized by high crime rates and low trust among residents, had a higher prevalence of mental health disorders. The sense of safety and belonging in a community, or the lack thereof, is a potent social factor affecting mental health. Now let's apply these findings to John's situation from our previous scene. John, a dedicated professional, is under constant pressure at work, mirroring the high demand and low control scenario from the Whitehall study. He also lives in a neighborhood with low social cohesion, similar to the communities examined in the WHO study. These social factors, his work environment and community, are likely contributing to his feelings of stress and anxiety. Further research has delved into the role of social support in buffering the effects of stress. A study from the University of Michigan found that strong social support can improve resilience to stress and consequently improve mental health outcomes. John's story underscores the importance of this aspect, as he lacks a strong support network. The science is clear. Social factors play a significant role in our mental health. Understanding these influences allows us to better navigate our social environments and take proactive steps towards safeguarding our mental well-being. Understanding the impact of social factors on mental health is only half the battle. The next step is learning how to combat these negative influences. So, how do we begin to counteract these negative social influences? One of the most powerful tools at our disposal is seeking professional help. Therapists, counselors, and psychiatrists are trained to help us navigate the murky waters of our mental health, providing us with coping strategies and techniques to manage stress, anxiety, and other mental health issues. They can also help us understand the sources of our stress and anxiety, often tracing them back to our social environment. Another vital strategy is building a supportive social network. This doesn't necessarily mean having a large group of friends or followers. Instead, it's about nurturing a network of people who understand, support, and encourage us. This could be friends, family, or even online communities. Surrounding ourselves with positivity can significantly lessen the impact of negative social influences. Promoting mental health awareness in our community is also essential. By advocating for mental health, we can help break down the stigma associated with mental illness, making it easier for people to seek help when they need it. We can also educate others about the impact of social factors on mental health, encouraging them to be more mindful of their actions and behaviors. Finally, self-care should never be underestimated. Taking time for ourselves, doing things we enjoy, and ensuring we're physically healthy can all contribute to our mental well-being. Remember, it's okay to say no sometimes and put our own needs first. In essence, counteracting negative social influences involves a combination of seeking help, building supportive networks, advocating for mental health, and practicing self-care. It's a journey that requires patience, resilience, and understanding, but it's a journey worth taking. While we can't change our social environment overnight, we can take steps to protect our mental health. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the story of John to the science behind social factors and mental health. We've discovered how social factors can have a profound impact on mental health, shaping our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. From our relationships to our socioeconomic status, and from our work environment to our cultural context, all these elements play a significant role in our mental well-being. John's story has brought to life the reality that mental health is not an isolated phenomenon. It's intricately woven into the fabric of our social lives. The science has shown us that we're not powerless in the face of these social factors. By understanding their impact, we can take steps to counteract their negative influences and foster positive ones. So let's not underestimate the power of our social environment. It can indeed be a compelling force, but it does not have to dictate our mental health. Remember, your social environment is a powerful force, but it doesn't have to control your mental health.